Hey y'all, Dave Outdoors here today, and we're going to talk a little bit about props from gatortail and what the purposes of them are and how I use them. We're going to talk about three blades, the two different three blades, and different two blades that they have. All right, so the first one we're going to start off with is a CA57. This one I had modified. This is a 11.75 diameter by 11.5 pitch. This is what I use for my what I call my hunt prop. This is going to get me in my shallow water, hard sand bottoms, and still be able to carry a decent load. It's a decently fast prop as well. I believe this is probably one of my fastest props because it's a smaller diameter. I'm able to bury it a little bit more and get quite a bit of push out of it. It's the hole shot's really decent on it, and because it's the smaller diameter, I'm able to get a hole shot in shallower water. So this thing's been sharpened and polished, so it has a little less resistance in the water against the weeds. It tends to cut right through them. That's my hunt prop. Now, my true load carry prop, this is for like heavy loads. I'm talking 2 coolers, 2 dogs, 2 people, plus the driver, and full tank of fuel. This is my heavy load prop. This has got the best hole shot for a heavy load. It's a full CA57. It's 12-inch pit or 12-inch diameter, 11.5-inch pitch. And what this one allows me to do over my hunt prop is to jump up on plane a little faster in open water. A little bit better fuel economy. It's not spinning out as fast, and it still pushes really good, but it pushes a heavy load because of the larger diameter. This one here I mainly use for heavy vegetation areas, or running through areas where I know that I'm going to be in and out of both clean water and dirty water. It's a decently fast prop. It's maybe a half a mile to a mile an hour slower than my hunt prop, and that's just only because I don't have to bury it as much because it's got a larger diameter. I can keep the RPMs a little lower and keep them pushing a little harder. This is my 3-blade prop. This is the best prop that I've seen as far as characteristics of a 2-blade, but balance of a 3-blade. It does still push a load really well. It's got a real decent hole shot to it. It's a smaller diameter. It's an 11-inch diameter by 11 pitch. It is significantly slower than my 2 blades. It's about 3 to 3.5 miles an hour slower. But the benefit of this is I can put less fuel to it, or less RPMs to it, and still be able to cruise at a nice speed. So the fuel economy on this one's a lot nicer. The balance is a lot better. Because it's an 11-inch diameter, I use this a lot for where it's hard bottom, like limestone bottom. The 3 blades are particularly nice because you're able to raise them out of the water a little bit higher than a 2-blade and still maintain a push. A lot of 2 blades, if you raise them too high, they tend to blow out and quit pushing. You start losing a lot of speed. And the other nice thing is with rocks and stuff, the 2 blades, whenever a rock is coming by, or you're getting close to a limestone shelf, whenever it hits, it tends to grab and try to pull the motor up, and it really dings them up real bad. Where the 3-blade, because the blades are so close together, or they're much closer together, it tends to make it bounce off. So you're not getting as much stuff caught and forward as far as rocks and stuff like that, and still being able to have decent balance, a decent fuel economy. And this 3-blade has probably one of the better reverses I've seen on a 3-blade. It doesn't get as snugged up in the grass. It still goes through mud and debris. The only downfall you really have to this particular prop is it's a bit slower than your 2-blade. But as far as heavy loads and long trips and stuff, to try to keep bolts from getting loose, or just a whole lot of vibration on the lower unit or even the motor, this is probably one of the better 3 blades for a hunt use. Now my last prop here, this is my Merc Rapid. This prop is a finicky prop, so it's got its purposes, but it's not as, you know, wide use as this one. Like, you kind of go from hunt and then slowly out of hunt into fishing. So this one I'd more use for freshwater fishing. This is more used for saltwater fishing. What this one has in benefit over all of these ones is I get a higher rate of speed at a lower RPM, still maintaining my balance. The hole shot on this one is terrible for grass and mud because it's got to be buried so deep that it tends to get caught on a lot of stuff and banging on a lot of stuff. But the hole shot's actually halfway decent once it's buried, but you have to work the trim a little bit on this one, so you kind of start off with it buried and then you trim it up. Where the two blades, you can kind of leave them sit where they are, and this one is pretty much about the same, but what you get out of the benefit of this is you can raise this one even higher out of the water and get a flatter push and a faster top speed. As far as, you know, the three blades are concerned, it's still not as fast as my other two blade, but you get the same good balance out of it, and it's got really good characteristics. That's all I got for you.